If nature has taught us how it operates without human intervention, the best we can do is actually learn from it and adapt the same method so that no one ever fertilized an odd growth forest. The soil food web itself has all the work done by the microbes. Hello, Samson here. Welcome to today's segment of book reviews where we're dealing in organic agriculture. And this week's segment is focused on teeming with microbes. This is a very good second edition right out that is by Jeff Lowenfels and Wayne Lewis. So most gardeners actually think that soil is just dirt, when in the actual sense, health soil simply means you need to teem with microbes. So that means having an understanding of what bacteria is in the soil, what kind of nematodes, archaea stemming from all of these different protozoa and the like. And in today's segment, I'm going to be breaking down 7 rules which are very much essential from the 19 rules actually given in the book. And yeah, diving right into it. The very first rule that the authors actually bring out is the fact that different plants actually need different microbes. And when you focus on the fact that there are vegetables, shrubs, and other fruit plants, they always need different kinds of nitrogen. So, for example, trees and shrubs need nitrogen in the form of ammonium. Hence, they support fungal activity more than bacterial. And vegetables actually support bacterial kind of microorganisms, and they support nitrogen in form of nitrates as compared to the other kind. So the takeaway is you need to know the kind of medium in which your crops and produce is growing in order for you to have better yields. The second rule that they bring out from the 19 that they gathered, and the second one as an essential for me, is the fact that you need to feed the soil, not the plant. And we've been talking mostly about feeding the soil and not just the plant. So what this simply entails is that chemical fertilizers have actually been killing most of the microbes that are found in the soil, and to an extent where you constantly need to be feeding the plants with chemical fertilizers or depleting the microbes which are in the soil. When that happens, and for you to get to restore the structure and the microbes which are in the soil, when you have been constantly dealing with chemical fertilizing of your crops, it's going to take kind of uh, a lot of years and months for just the restoration to be taken up. Therefore, you need to stop mixing NPK synthetic fertilizers because it's simply killing the life out of your soil. And the best is to use organic amendments that fit the biology of the soil in this food web that is available. The third rule is that brown feeds fungi while green feeds bacteria, as alluded to earlier on in the first rule, where different microbes get to feed different kinds of plants. It is the same principle that is being applied here. So different kinds of mulches actually get to support different kinds of microbial life in your soil. You need to choose your mulch actually based off what you are growing. So are you growing vegetables or are you growing trees? So brown is usually for the trees and green is usually for the vegetables. So different kinds of medium gets to feed different kinds of crops that you're growing. The fourth rule is that there are 3 tools, that is compost, mulch, and compost tea. All of this gets to play the different roles that they come about. Usually, there is need to use actually all 3. Compost gets to introduce biology in the soil, and then mulch gets to feed it, while the compost tea gets to boost the microbial population quickly. So when there is a combination of these 3 tools, which is compost, mulch, and compost tea, and the formulations are actually found in JDAM, one of the book reviews that we did the other time. You can easily find them and then look up how to actually make your compost tea. So these three tools actually help you to gain restoration of the soil and just feed the microbes in order to team with them. The fifth rule is that you need to stop rototilling because it simply destroys the fungal network that is in the soil. So stop turning your soil, and we've been dealing in most of no-till, no rototilling, and the like. So every time you rototill, you actually set your soil food web back to months or years for it to just get restored, because you're disturbing the whole soil food web and the system and the network that is actually working towards making the soil fertile, that is going to fertilize the plants and the crops that you are growing. So rule number 6 is that mycorrhizal fungi are your plant's underground internet. So whether you like it or not, mycorrhizal fungi is what you actually need in your soil food web in order for it to be as productive as possible. So these are not optional. They are an essential for you to have in your soil food web. So if you've been using chemical fertilizers or rototilling, what happens is you've most likely killed them off. Therefore, to reinforce them at planting time, you need to be able to look out for them so that they're able to thrive. For you to have an understanding what mycorrhizal fungi is and make best use of them, you might want to get in touch. Lastly, rule number 7 is that no one ever fertilized an odd growth forest. So the closing argument of the book is the fact that an odd growth forest has actually no human intervention whatsoever for the growth of it, no chemical application, no rototilling, and everything that we do in our gardens. The soil food web itself has all the work done by the microbes which are present and available. So plants get to produce exudates, which get to affect microbial life in the soil, and then which get to restructure the whole cycle of the activities which are getting taken place in the soil system itself. And then nutrients get to be recycled, and then the system runs flawlessly. So if nature has taught us how it operates without human intervention, the best we can do is actually learn from it and adapt the same method. So there is need to trust the system. When you have healthy soil, your soil food web is actually something that is going to get you producing results which you need, and you do not necessarily need any chemicals in order to work against the system itself. So the microbes get to do most of the work for you. You do not need to do mostly anything. And then your job is to feed them and protect them, then let them do the work that they need to do. So this is Teeming with Microbes. Till we meet in the next segment, I am checking out.